Oh no, wait, you're talking about the other guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm talking about the blonde one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. For some reason I was still thinking of fucking.
The
Uh,
guy with the hat, right? The guy who eats mushrooms.
no, I was
Oh.
thinking of Dad, fucking jacked Thor.
Oh no, yeah, he's just fucking Thor.
Yeah, you're talking about blonde dude who, yeah, he kind of looks like
Dude, he
Tywin.
Thor's is just Bobby B in his prime.
Oh yeah, no doubt. He's the fucking Icelandic equivalent of the Big Show. Actually, no, he's legitimately Andre the Giant.
I guess so. But not not as thick in the middle parts.
He's not as chubby,
Yeah,
but he's as tall and as wide as Andre the Giant.
he's Andre the Giant without the heart issues. We think
And probably less funny.
that too.
Because Andre the Giant is apparently hilarious.
Well, what's hilarious? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Also, apparently, he had a really good, like a really strong connection with his character on The Princess Bride because they both had the same like fear as children of they were just gonna get used for their body and their physical capabilities, and nobody was actually gonna like appreciate them as like people.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That makes
So when
sense.
so
He'd
when
be
he
like,
like people were explaining to Andre like his character, he's like, you don't
oh,
need to tell me how this guy would act. I am this guy.
which is very true. It's a very fitting role.
It is. He is phenomenally cast in that movie. That movie all around is phenomenally cast, in my opinion.
It's Princess Bride if you were some sort of Philistine.
Yeah,
We shouldn't make fun of people who haven't watched Princess Bride. They're missing out. They should really watch it.
yeah. Their life is already clearly hard enough.
Well, anyways, this is episode 68 of ABC, right? Yeah, 68.
Probably.
I'm the one keeping track, so I should know.
Yeah.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Nick.
We don't have Alex because he's gonna be taking a bit of a break because he's wants to focus on some other stuff. But he'll be back at some point, I think. I don't know.
All right.
So for a while, it's gonna be Nick, the main duo, I guess.
I guess
Yeah.
holding it down
Hold
week
on
after
now.
week.
We're not a trio anymore. Like our main boys, Crank Pikachu, the Boar Kid, and then Tanjiro,
Yeah.
and then sometimes Nezuko.
Although Crying Pikachu may eventually get a new nickname, if what I hope is going to come true comes true with his character.
Fucking weirdo.
Well, I hope that his love for Nezuko somehow inspires him to become a badass.
Like not become such a little shit. All the
Yeah.
time.
Become less of a little shit and, a crying wuss and realize, like, I can do it while I'm awake to save my girl. I could, deal with that, I guess.
That's a reason enough.
Yeah. As long as he's conscious and being a badass, I'm kind of okay with his character.
Like I don't even hate his like timid side. It's the exaggeration that kind of irks me sometimes because like they just go too far with it. Because like when he
Yeah.
has that like kind of deadpan, kind of scared face, I kind of like that. Like he's just kind of scared, and that's okay.
Hmm.
But then he just starts bawling, and literally yelling while he's crying, and that just kind of puts it over the top for me.
Yeah.
Which is kind of similar to Poor Kid too. Whenever he's yelling, it kind of gets a little grating, but for the most part, they're both okay. I like Poor Kid a little bit more than Crank Pikachu though.
Yeah. Well, poor kid yells because he's just, like, fucking
God, he's just a fucking
jacked
fuck.
up on adrenaline.
Yeah. But this episode,
Mountain Dew! I'm coming to you like a spider monkey! Shout out to Talladega Nights.
so in this episode of Demon Slayer, if you didn't know that's what we're talking about already, we have fucking what's his face. We have our main trio finally getting better after a while. Where the doctor in a weirdly paced shot, I thought, because they like kind of pan to the doctor, and the doctor's just like looking at them. He's like, "You're okay," and then it just ends, and they just go away.
Yeah.
It was a little
Like, it was very much like, for some reason, it felt like they were in court. Like, they were all sitting there, like, to receive the verdict, and it shoots
Yeah.
over to the doctor as he's, like, silent for a second, and just goes, fine. And they all breathe, like, a sigh of relief. It was a very weirdly done shot. Because
Well,
it made it seem more, like, imperative that they get better right then, rather than it just being like, yeah, they're tired of being cooped up in this house and want to get back to work.
I just found like the pacing for the little joke a little weird.
I
Although,
didn't even really find it like a joke. It was just a weirdly done shot.
okay. But anyways, yeah, they get better after some time. We don't really know how long they've been there.
Hmm.
But more importantly, for Boar Kid, we have like some trigger for him where he sees like two little spores, or I'm not sure what they were, but like little, I guess like little cotton spores, right?
Something like
It's
that.
not cotton spores, but like dandelion weeds kind of going up in the air. After he's given food by the lady, we see that. After he's told, do a good job and be proud, we see that again. Which I'm not sure what they're working on for Boar Kid. Maybe so he's just like less of a antisocial fuck. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I
Um,
mean, he doesn't really understand like most things. Again, going back to, I'm pretty sure he was raised in the wilderness.
exactly. That's why he's like antisocial. Is just because he just doesn't know.
Yeah, he like just doesn't understand people very much. Um, so like the whole like interaction with the old lady about like I'll clean your clothes if you wear this robe, and he just doesn't process like why would I clean my clothes, and then he just runs off to fight Tanjiro.
Yeah, I guess that's what it
So,
may have been. I don't know. It was just a very weird visual cue, which they do two more times, and I feel like it's gonna come back later, or they might explain it more, or you might be right about just that being a visual cue for he's just fucking confused
yeah,
in this social situation. Uh, and then after that, they leave after we get another like little quick. In the beginning, we get a quick little scene where everyone's just running in a circle and being a little fucks for a little bit,
mhm.
which I didn't really find it funny, but it happened. But we have God. The one thing I want to mention about the scenes is that what's his face? Crying Pikachu just had a very weird voice during all of that. It was a little
Oh yeah,
unnerving. His like,
Nezuko love me voice.
yeah, it's just weird. It creeped me out.
It was kind of weird.
Like, stop doing that. Oh, but after that, the crow comes back and the crow's like, "Rawr, go fight some more shit," and it just flies away. So they decide, all right, let's go. Up, they pack up and leave, and they go northeast to go fight in the mountains. I don't remember what mountains they were, but some mountains.
Yeah,
They start heading off there. All while Boar Kid is trying to figure out what the fuck an old lady meant about fight with pride and yada yada.
yeah. He basically it continues to rub in. I don't know if they're just trying to be more like they feel like the author feels like he was subtle about the fact that like Boar Kid is very obviously raised in the wilderness and doesn't understand people, but it's continuing to rub in like he doesn't understand what it means to behave properly or
Yeah.
fight with pride or why she cares if they're if this person
Okay, this person's actually legitimately caring about them.
yeah, like he doesn't
wants them
understand
to
that
be
the old lady
something.
wants them to succeed.
Yeah.
Like he feels like everybody has this I'm out for myself justice of the wild sort of mentality like he does. He doesn't understand we're all in this together basically.
Hmm.
But they continue to play this card as they run through the I don't know path road. I don't actually don't know what they're on. It's like
Just a
some
little
dirt
path.
road.
Yeah, little dirt path.
But Tanjiro gets kind of upset that Boar Kid is not super socially aware, and they have like a quick scene of like Tanjiro gets mad and runs faster, and Boar Kid thinks it's a competition, so he runs faster, and Crying Pikachu decides
Just
to run slower.
sits down like a little jag.
Yeah, basically.
But
Crying Pikachu's like they can't see me anymore, so gonna go ahead and walk.
but yeah, Tanjiro after they have a little spat, Tanjiro gets kind of a second wind during that scene because he feels that Boar Kid's kind of competitiveness is kind of driving him to be better and do better.
Yeah. But then they get to the mountain, and
well-
Crying Pikachu promptly gives up.
They get to the mountain. Well, they get to they find that kid first, one of the demon slayers.
No, they get to the mountain first,
Get to the
and
mountain
then they
first.
find the kid.
Oh,
Well, they get in front of the mountain when
Whatever.
Crying Pikachu
they
gives
happen
up
at
on
the same
road.
time.
Yeah.
They
Crying
see.
Pikachu gives up on the road to the mountain because he feels something ominous from the mountain.
Yes.
And Tanjiro and Boar Kid stand in the road, and they're like, "You're weird, kid. Stand up. Come fight with us." And Crying Pikachu says, "No, I can't." And then they find the other kid.
See, I'm not sure why he said I hear something weird in the mountains because we've already established that he can hear really well. So I'm not sure why he just didn't say that, or if that was like some translation thing.
Maybe.
Because we do get like a sound cue a bit later on, which to which fucking what's his face Crying Pikachu says, what did you guys? What was that? And the little two are like, did you just fucking hear that? It was a lot of shit. And he's like, well, I don't know. But the Demon Slayer comes up and he's he's fucking tired. And he's on the ground and he kind of says some cryptic shit, and then he just kind of gets pulled back into the forest. Like he was bait. Surprise, surprise, he's bait. Tanjiro and Boar-Kid just go running in because Boar-Kid's there. Boar-Kid wants to fight something. That's why he runs in. Tanjiro's like, cool. Boar-Kid's gonna run in too. I'm going with him. And Crying Pikachu just sits down.
Well, Tanjiro tries to have this, like, come on, men, to me, into glory, into battle moment. And Boar-Kid basically, like, in the middle of it, just goes, off to fight things! And Tanjiro's like, well, I guess that's over with, and just follows him.
Yeah, and then
Tanjiro's trying to be more of, like,
he's trying to be a leader.
Three Musketeers, we're all in this together. Yeah. And Boar-Kid's like, fuck you guys, gonna go fight demons.
And Crying Pikachu
I kind of
crying in the background.
Yeah, Crying Pikachu's crying on the ground. Who cares about him?
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I kind of appreciate Boar-Kid, is, like, he doesn't try and fuck around with this, like, let's be a team bullshit. He's like, fuck y'all, I'm here to kill demons. There be demons.
Yeah, so he just loves to fight, so he just heads on in.
He loves fighting, and he knows, like, why he's here. He's not here to, like, pussyfoot around and be like, Three Musketeers, swords in, men. He's just like, fuck this, I'm heading in head first. Eyes closed, head first, can't lose.
Exactly. And around this time, I believe we had a scene with, because this is right before the eye catch with where the ads go. We get a scene with the spider people, with the mother.
Yeah, we see them in the dark. We see them in like half darkness.
Yeah, with like I think 2 kids and then a father.
We see.
I think it's 4 people or 5, right?
We see a small one.
Yeah, there's a small one.
We see like the one. We see like just half of a face when we see like all of the red shirts is what I'm calling them.
Yeah.
All of the red shirts tied up. You see like half of a face of another one who looks kind of small.
Okay, so
we see the mom, and then we see like Tarzan dad.
Yeah, the mom's on a rock. Tarzan dad's just on a cliff, just yelling at the moon.
Basically, and then he runs away like a fucking chimpanzee.
Yeah. Then there's little spider brother, who's like standing on some webs, I believe, or up behind a tree. Little spider sister is just we see, I think one of them is little spider sister. And there's just another one somewhere.
Yeah. So we see 4 of them, but the one that we then meet later in the episode didn't really look like any of them. So maybe there's 5 of them. I don't really know.
I think he says there's 5, and I think we do see 5. But anyways,
well, we only see 4 in this shot. Like the first time we see them, we only see the one standing in the tree, the one like with all of the red shirts, where we see half of a face, and then dad and mom.
Okay.
So we see 4 in like the shadows, and then we meet number 5, I assume.
Yeah, possibly number 5. Okay. But yeah, all the red shirts are, basically hanging from threads because they're fucking spiders.
Yeah, because it has to be fucking spiders.
Yeah.
God, fucking damn it! Why is it spiders?
Why is it always spiders?
Why is it always spiders?
Why did it have to be spiders? So Tanjiro and Boar-Kid happen on another red shirt who's just kind of chilling out. They sneak up on him without just saying, "Hey, we're other demon slayers. Don't freak out when we try to touch you."
Well, to be fair, I kind of more got it as like a,
They're trying to be
we're under attack by something in the wilderness that we can't see.
Yeah.
Let's not just talk out loud. But then Boar-Kid immediately yells and kind of ruins that.
Yeah. So they go up to him, they're like, yo, we're here to help you. And they're like, oh, you kids, you're just fucking rookies.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to do all the work soon.
It's true, but at the same time, like, if somebody showed up, at your job and they're like, I'm a first year in college, you'd be like, wow, great. Super glad you're fucking here right now, kid.
Man, that's what happened to me.
I mean,
they love me.
You weren't a first year in college, though.
Oh,
you were 1 year out of college. I'm talking about literally a first year in college.
Oh, yes, that makes
like
sense.
The equivalent of what these kids are. Like they introduce themselves as we're newbies. You'd be like, wow, awesome.
I'm fucked.
I've got some paperwork for you to file. That feels like it's something you could accomplish.
But yeah, he says like they should have at least brought like blank class, or I think it was like Hayashi class or something.
Something.
It starts with an H. And then we get cut.
We have no understanding of what the classes in this like Demon Slayer system is. So unless they explain it to us soon, I'm assuming it's never going to become relevant.
I don't really care. I'm going with Naruto rules. Like there's like 4 or 5 classes. There's gonna be 4 classes, and the 5th one's the highest one. Like, that's it for me. Like, it's all that really matters, really.
Okay.
Like, largely, these class systems don't really make any fucking sense. Because it's always the newbies, always fucking stronger than everyone else, but, you know,
Well,
whatever.
even in the Naruto system, they explain it like fairly early on.
Yeah, you're right. They actually do do a good bit of, like, world building around, you know, the classes and stuff.
Like, I feel like it
Yeah.
doesn't go further than at least like the tuning exams before they're like, yeah, you guys are getting, and then it's tuning, and then you have whatever.
Hokage, or the Kages.
No, well, you have J. There's something J that
Jonin.
fucking yeah, Jonin,
Jonin.
which Kakashi was.
Kakashi
And
was
then-
Jonin at age 14, Nick. Get it through your head.
I don't remember all of the Naruto lore, Brandon.
He was the youngest Jonin, Nick.
Weeb.
Yeah, I don't know how important it's going to be. But they asked for Hashi class, and then we have a scene where we see, like, I assume the leader of the Demon Slayers holding a crow. And he sounds
Yeah.
a lot like Muzan, right?
He does, and
Okay.
he also has dark hair
He's got
that's like
dark hair.
kind of long.
He's got the eye things, like the veins on the eyes.
We don't see his eyes. We
We
see
don't-
part of his face.
Yeah, we see the veins, though, around his eye sockets. Which
Yeah.
is what happens with Muzan.
Yeah.
We also see the two little fucking Katroiska dolls people that were
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but like who were from the fourth episode with the exams and stuff.
Mhm.
So for sure, like this is Demon Slayer like territory. So
Yes.
my guess is this is Muzan's brother.
Interesting. I was just gonna go with like generically old demon. Like he and Muzan may have been demons together at some point, but he's
Okay.
not like a brother of Muzan, but he could be a brother.
That's what I'm going with for now,
I could see it.
because I don't see him being literally Muzan. Because because
There's no way.
Yeah, because like I'm not sure of like what they would be doing in that case.
Yeah.
But like for sure, whatever that thing is, like whoever that is, that's a fucking demon,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
100%.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
it's a
so,
demon.
so some of these demon slayers like know that they're okay demons. Oh,
Well, I don't know actually.
because like there's no fucking way that they don't know he's a demon.
Well, but then we have the like when he tells the two kids behind him like go help these people. They have like a little, one-off conversation where the girl says like wouldn't it be nice if there were nice demons that we could get along with to the guy that we met back in the first episode and he responds there are no nice demons. Just dead demons.
So I guess the way I would rationalize that is he believes that his leader isn't a good person. Even though
Maybe.
like, he's a demon. Right? Like his leader is a demon, but he doesn't believe
Uh-huh.
he's a good person. He just happens to be their leader.
Okay.
So like he's
We'll
in
see.
it
We'll
for
see what
him.
develops.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you for bringing up that line because I did forget about that.
Uh-huh.
I thought her line was like, "Couldn't all demons be nice?" But I think you're right. But yeah, we get that scene, so interesting things are going to come up, and I'm excited.
Yeah. We also could be wrong. He could just be a dude with black hair who's not a demon at all.
And who just happens to share Muzan's voice actor, yeah.
Yeah, and has like I don't know scars on his face.
But see, like there's I feel like there's way too many coincidences where like we can't be wrong.
I
Like-
mean, yeah, it's a shonen. We're not
Yeah.
wrong, but I'm saying like there's a world in which we are.
Give it a benefit
It's
of
not
the
this
doubt.
world.
So then we get some fighting with basically some are dead bodies, some are just unconscious bodies, where the spider lady is controlling them with threads,
Uh huh.
and they're all hacking, slashing around. They kind of have some fighting. They figure out that hey, there's threads hooked onto these people. Let's cut the fucking threads. Tanjiro tells Borkid, help me with this, and then Borkid's like, all right, fuck it, sure. They kind of fight for a little bit. Tanjiro realizes that it's kind of futile, so he tells Borkid, do you have a power that will like just tell you where people are? And Borkid's
Right.
like, yes.
He basically looks at Bork and he's like, "I've got the Super Sniffer, and Crying Pikachu has his Dumbo ears. What do you got?" And Borkid's response is apparently Spidey sense.
Yeah. But
But
yeah, he's got like the most overpowered sensory skill, which is I can literally know where everything around me is. He's got the Byakugan.
yeah, basically, he has 360 vision that apparently also extends for at least several hundred meters.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, Byakugan does have is not 360. There is a small,
Right. There's like a
Yeah, small point where.
5-degree blind spot behind you.
Which, by the way, do you want to know who Neji was fighting when that figure when he when whoever? Do you want to know who Neji was fighting when they found that out?
Who?
A spider guy.
You are the worst. Oh
Boom,
my
it's all
god.
connected.
It's all connected, and I hate most of it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a spider guy who like uses a fucking I think it was like an arrow, a bow and arrow.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna look this up afterwards because I'm pretty sure I'm right. But anyways,
But
yeah, the episode ends with Tanjiro and with Borke telling Tanjiro, "Hey, I found Spider Lady. Peace out." And he just heads once again, head first, no thinking.
yeah.
And we also get fucking Crank Pichu talking with his sparrow, and his sparrow is telling him not to be such a little punk all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we have Crying Pichu out on the road, and he's like, "If they were really my friends, they would have convinced me to go. I could have been convinced." It's like, bitch, if you were friends, you would have just gone.
but he decides to go because he's scared that Nezuko's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, because they don't know that Nezuko's actually an undercover badass.
They know she's a demon.
They know she's a demon, but they haven't seen her fight. They've
Yeah.
just seen her like run around and be cute.
Yes.
They haven't seen her go full demon kick-ass mode.
They haven't seen her become like a fucking Thor.
Yeah.
And so,
Which she's kind of overpowered with how, like, in the course of that one fight with the kickball lady, it started out with her first kick ripped her leg off, and it ended like a minute later with her blasting a kickball so hard it blew a gigantic hole in the wall and like almost killed the girl.
yeah.
Like, in the course of a minute of a fight, Nezuko went from I lost a leg to I could have blown your whole body to bits.
Which kind of it's what happens with Sakura too, because she also gets that same super strong power.
Yeah, but Sakura sucks.
Yeah, that's what I don't want Nezuko to become.
Nezuko feels like she's going to become a badass.
I fucking hope so, because Sakura could have been that too, but they didn't write it well enough.
Yeah.
God, that fucking scene where she's like, "Now I've reached both of you." Oh God, no, not really.
Now I'm just as good as Naruto and Sasuke.
To be
Not
fair,
even
at that
Sora.
point, she's basically immortal.
I understand that, but at the same time, they come back with their fucking, perfect form transformations.
Yeah.
Where Naruto becomes Kyuubi and Sasuke becomes fucking Susanoo. And you're like, and meanwhile, Sakura punching a rock.
Well, she gets black tattoos of her own. I mean, there's that at least.
Yeah, that's a fucking consolation prize for Sakura.
I feel like if they really wanted to make it cooler, it is that she was able to use wood style. Because, I mean, it's in her fucking name.
Yeah.
God, that would have been awesome.
Why would they make Sakura a relevant part of, OG Team 7?
I mean, I don't fucking know. But anyways, Nezuko, I hope that doesn't happen to her.
Fucking, it's not like, what's her name? Her teacher was, like, the best one of her class or anything.
She was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Her teacher was a fucking badass and easily the best of those three. The fucking Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and fucking whatever her name was. Why can't I
Tsunade.
remember her name?
Tsunade.
It is Tsunade.
Yep.
For some reason, I wanted to say Tsubame, and I was like, that's not right.
I mean, it's close enough. You're one
It is,
letter away.
it is close, but I just couldn't think of. I knew I wasn't right, and I was thinking of a different character, but I couldn't think of the character either.
Wait, Tsubame, isn't that from something we're watching?
I think maybe. Will feel bad if it is, and I can't remember.
Is that the
who it
maid?
is.
Is not sorry, not the maid. Is that the sister from Fire Force?
I don't think so.
Who knows? Anyways, or is that?
Anyways,
Or is that Fire Witch? I think it might be
no,
no, not Fire Witch.
I don't think so.
I
They all,
just-
they all have weird names in Fire Force,
Okay.
I think.
That would make sense.
But anyways, with the Naruto thing that I was gonna say, fucking Tsunade was a badass. Sakura does not live up to her teacher in any way.
Well, she does have that one really cool fight in Boruto where she beats the shit out of some dude's Sharingan. It was
Oh yeah,
awesome.
the Sharingan dudes.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Where she comes in and just lays a motherfucker out.
God.
That was legit. That was the one moment where you're like, wow, you're actually like useful. But
Damn.
most of the time, you're kind of like, you exist.
Yeah. Oh well. And so, speaking of Fire Force, wait, no, do you talk about Fire Force first? No, talk about Dr. Stone because that comes first.
We talked about Dr. Stone second.
Yep. So, Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone. The remaining part of Demon Slayer that we didn't talk about was Spider Kid shows up and he's
Oh
like,
yeah, he's like, yo.
I'll deal with you kids later, and then he immediately walks away. Doesn't really do much,
Don't
but he's
hurt my
there.
family.
Yeah.
Ignore the fact that we killed a bunch of people.
Also, Boar Kid tries to slice him and then eats shit instead.
Yeah, he does not. He did not get enough air.
No. He is mad hops, but he didn't have mad enough hops.
Yep. And so yeah, we move on to Dr. Stone, where we get the titular Dr. Stone this episode, which is Soap. Wait, was it Soap?
I don't
Yeah, it was
think
Soap.
he's going to be the titular Dr. Stone, though.
Well, no. He says Dr. Stone when that's what he calls the Soap.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be the titular Dr. Stone, though.
Well, I'm just saying that
Like,
this is the
I
first
think they're
time we've
going
heard
to
the word
eventually
Dr. Stone.
give that. Yeah, it is the first time we've ever heard it, but I think
Yeah.
they're eventually going to give that title to whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Einstein.
Fucking kid with the E equals MC square in his fucking
Yeah, he's got white hair
collar.
and has E equals MC squared written on his collar. So in my brain, I just have given him the title Einstein
That's something I forgot to talk about last episode. Oh my god, it's just so dumb.
because it's so dumb.
Yes.
Yeah. I like to imagine that was the first thing he did after he woke up. Like he made clothes that was like, better find some fucking black paint so I can write this on my collar.
Right? Oh my
I'm so cool.
I was really hoping he'd like each episode he'd get more and more random formulas all over his shirt.
I would appreciate it if they continued that as a joke. That would be
Yeah,
funny.
like the derivation of gravity just behind him.
That would be legit. If they actually built out like a progressively longer and longer like derivation along his back, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, because like they kind of need it. They're gonna need it at some point.
Yeah.
But anyways, in this episode, we start off with I'm just gonna call him Dr. Stone because I actually don't remember his name. Dr. Stone in 8-Man. They finally have the little elixir which brings people back to life from being stonified, if they're still alive. So if their like statue got destroyed, chances are they're actually dead. So you can't bring those people back to life. Only people whose statues are pristine, essentially. So they decide to. I think the Tsubame is the girl. Is who we're thinking, by the way.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is this girl.
Yep.
I was surprised too because I'm like, I wonder what bullshit excuse they're gonna use for not, de-stoning her first.
Which they don't really have a bullshit excuse. They're like, hey, we should probably give her clothes first.
Yeah,
At least
that
Aiden's like-
was the sum total of why she isn't first. But it wasn't like the reason. It was more the reason why they're not doing it now.
Yeah.
Was we should go back and put clothes on her, and then we'll take the stone off of her.
Yes.
Because 8-Man has a fucking conniption fit about the fact that, oh my god, she's gonna be naked.
To be fair, they should have
Jewish.
just brought a blanket or something.
Yeah, they should have brought a blanket. Also, Dr. Stone is completely fair with it's way better to just make her not be stoned now. We could deal with the clothes thing later. But 8-Man is having none of it, and so they have to bring her back home.
Oh, here's the thing. Would it have been like harder to run away from lines with 3 people? Or with 2 people and no, it's 2 people and a statue, for sure.
I don't know. Because 8-Man has already been proven to be like fucking,
Super athletic.
yeah,
But-
super athletic.
Dr. Stone is like mildly athletic, so it depends on how athletic Tsubame is.
She is a woman and in an anime, Brandon.
That's I didn't want to go there, but yes, she probably would have died because people are fucking
I'm
sexist.
not being discriminatory against women.
I'm not either.
I'm being discriminatory against anime's depiction of women.
Well, you're not being discriminatory. You're just
Not
pointing it out.
usually good.
We're
Yeah.
pointing it out.
I'm pointing out that anime is generally discriminatory to women.
Yes.
In the generic sense, unless they're already stated to be a character who is athletic. So unless she was stated as like, oh,
As, like, a
she's
track star,
on the
yeah.
track team or something. Generally speaking, women running in anime does not end well most of the time. It's the sad fact that Japan is sort of backwards.
Yep. That's why I think it was University of Tokyo, right? Was basically full on just failing some of their women applicants with like just harder tests or something.
Oh yeah,
A bunch of fucking asshats.
bunch of fucking asshats. Well, I mentioned this at some point, but fucking like just as much as women in America face sexual assault in the workplace, like it's apparently so much more standardized
Oh,
in
God.
Japan that it's like, oh yeah, you're just gonna go out with the boss because that's expected of you.
You're reading that one manga about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so fucked up. Like, in America, it's like a sad reality, and we still acknowledge that it's sexual assault. In Japan, it's like, and this is an expectation of your job that this is going to happen.
At least in America,
like,
we try
wow.
to hide it.
Right. At least in America, we have
Oh,
the dignity
yeah.
to feel ashamed of what we do. That does not make it better.
But anyways,
It's a problem in society.
they take Tsubame, they start running. because there's a bunch of fucking lions out of nowhere. Which, if this
Yeah.
was like an
Not
actual,
out of nowhere, Brandon. Out of the zoo.
God, here's the thing though, there's not enough. Okay, so as much as this fucking character loves to talk about like logic and all that other bullshit, which is just dumb and stupid and annoys me. Like there's not enough lions to like have this much of a population 3,000 years later. There's like what,
yeah.
maybe like 20 fucking lions in all of Japan. Like they just would have
Maybe.
died out.
Yeah.
Like even like if it was like 100, it's not enough for a population to start booming.
Yeah. Also, the fact that fucking it's the middle of the day and I'm supposed to believe that the male lion is out here hunting.
That
Bitch, who
too.
do you think you're kidding?
Like he shows up, I'm like, no, that's already wrong.
Yeah.
It should only be the females hunting.
He shows up and he first shows up alone. Like it was just the
No,
male
that
lion
would make
at first. I
sense
was like,
though.
bullshit.
No, that would make sense because if male lions like alone don't have a pride, they will hunt alone because they kind of have to because they don't have the women to do it for them.
Well, yeah, but then once we see that there are female lions, also the fact that it's been 3,000 years,
I already
Brandon
went-
tells me that there are more lions.
Yes.
So so the male lion shows up alone, and immediately you're like, this is sort of bullshit. Then the female lion show up, and you're like, now it's really bullshit.
I mean, at least the female lions showed up at least.
I mean, it's true,
I would say
but
it's
at the
less
same time,
bullshit.
like, I feel like a wild animal seeing an unknown animal for the first time wouldn't be like, I'm gonna fight this. They'd probably look at it as like, this could potentially be dangerous for me. I'm gonna observe this.
Well, also like lions are scared of people, if I'm right. Like if there's like more than depends on how many people
Lions
are.
have become scared of people. I don't know if they're naturally scared of people. Like we don't know the natural state of a lion and how they see people.
Usually, if there's like a kind of a big pack of people, they just won't do anything.
Well, yeah, because most animals aren't dumb.
Yeah.
Animals, since they don't have doctor animals to go to, look at anything that can hurt them as maybe I'm not gonna fuck with this
Fuck
today.
that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to break a leg and die out here.
They go after antelopes because they've got horns in the front, so they just bite the back.
Exactly. Or they go after hippos, and hippos do not give a shit.
Oh my god, hippos will kill lions. 100%.
Hippos will kill lions,
Hippos
or
will
they'll
kill anything.
like. Hippos can kill anything. Hippos won't necessarily kill anything because their fucking skin is so thick that they're like, I'm just gonna walk away and you can't do anything to stop me.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I am a mobile tank. Have fun.
But anyways, Dr. Stone and 8-Man run away. They get cornered at this little tree after 8-Man's like, yo, I know someone who can help us. Fucking
Yeah.
Tarzan.
After earlier in the episode where they were like, it'd be real bad if we rezzed a murderer first. Flags are raised. We rezzed a murderer first, boys.
Yep.
So we go hunt down fucking super Tarzan high schooler because this is apparently Danganronpa.
Yep. So Tarzan wakes up. Tarzan beats shit of lions.
Yeah,
That's a
which
line.
was kind of impressive.
was pretty
The
funny.
fucking when he comes out and just backhands a lion and doesn't like he backhands it behind his back and doesn't look at it. I
Well,
was like,
one,
this kid's a badass.
he backhands it, but not only that, it kills the lion
Yes,
immediately.
this kills the lion.
So after that happens, he asks Dr. Stone for a knife so he can cut up the lion, eat its meat, because he needs to use all of it.
Yep.
And then he takes his skin as a coat.
Yeah,
Which, first of all, once again, if we're going to be all sciencey about it, he needs to tan it first. Because right now, he's
Yeah.
just wearing fat and, like, slime is all over him.
yeah. Maybe he doesn't care.
That's true. That's very true. Maybe he just doesn't
Maybe
care.
maybe he looks at it as like this is how nature gave it to me, so this is how I'll wear it.
And then after that, he's impressed by, like, the little Minecraft creation he created with the little hut in the laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
He decides that he will be the hunter and the fisher. So now they've got kind of a little crew going on. So we get a little montage of, people eating food and, just doing their stuff. And Dr. Stone comes up with the next plot point, and that's about calcium carbonate, which I correctly guessed they were going to look for shells. Because I remember that from my geology class a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yep. The way we tested it is by putting like little acid on it to see if it fizzed.
Oh, okay.
Because calcium carbonate is also Tums.
That is true.
Yep. Because that's what an antacid is.
But then so they grind up some shells
Mhm.
and I don't know really. They kind of skip a part, but I guess they distill out the calcium carbonate, so they have more or less created purish calcium carbonate.
So the way they just kind of skip over that fact, yeah. They just like crush up the shells and say this is calcium carbonate, even though there's like some extra stuff in there. But Dr. Snow says, there's four major uses for it. One of them is concrete. I think that's the third one they say. One of them is concrete. One of them is soap. What's the other one?
Agriculture.
Right. Yes, that's the first one they say. Agriculture. They use it to fertilize the soil to make it better. But then, what's his face? Tarzan Man's like, hey, what's that? Fourth thing. And Dr. Stone's like, oh, I only said three. And once again, flags are raised because there's something about that. Mostly because this is after, actually, we've skipped the part after the scene where Tarzan Man tells Dr. Stone that, he's going to, he wants only the youth to be revived because everyone else kind of fucking jags. And he recalls a story of his younger self, looking for some shells for his sick sister. And then some drunk-ass motherfucker comes in and beats him up. And now he hates everyone. Everyone in the world. All adults suck, Nick.
Yeah, all adults are horrible.
All
None
adults
of them can be revived. We can only revive the pure-hearted teenagers because that'll form a functioning society.
Exactly. They're not all, they're not completely muddled with fucking hormones and not knowing anything at all.
We make fun of it, but at the same time, I'm 100% convinced that Dr. Stone, or Einstein, is not going to res any adults. Like, despite saying, like, I'm going to free everybody, he's just not going to res adults for a while. It's not going to be because he doesn't want to. It's just going to be because, in the context of the shonen show, if you res adults, things get weird.
Yeah, probably.
Adults start to have feelings like, we can't be letting kids do these things, and this is dangerous.
Yeah. And, let's focus on creating our world first.
Right.
So
if they res adults, things get weird. Yeah. So they're just not going to, but they're not going to be, like, biased against them.
Yes.
Outwardly biased against them, I should say.
The real strategy is to not res anyone over the age of 50 and no one under the age of, 15. Because anyone under the age of 15 not going to know what they're fucking doing and not going to follow orders. Or maybe even people under the age of 20. And people over the age of 50 or 60, probably 60, they're fucking useless. You need the prime working range. Because those are people who, are going to do their fucking jobs. For the most part. You're going to get, you're going to get some jags every once in a while.
Okay.
But that, I think, right there is a strategy.
Okay. This is where, in the edit of this, you put up a title card that says, Brandon decides his final plan.
What?
Because what you're talking about is basically eugenics.
No, I never said that we weren't ever going to undo the other people. We have to undo a good working range first, and then undo the rest of the people. Because once we have caretakers, then we can start getting out the children and the older people who can't really take care of themselves.
Oh, okay.
See?
Yeah. You've clearly considered everything. You don't end up looking like a psychopath.
Sociopath,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm totally not fucking Tarzan Man who wants to just...
only raise the pure-hearted children.
But yeah, that's what Tarzan Man's goal is going to be, which I like the dichotomy between his plan and then Dr. Stone's plan, like the clashing of philosophies between that. That builds up a good, kind of foundation for this show. Is if this did happen, who would you, how would you choose, who comes back? And, how would you deal with repercussions if you brought someone bad back, just like they're going to do now? Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting.
It does kind of create, an interesting problem. The show is probably going to get around it by, not having anybody that's sort of, gray in terms of evilness.
Possibly, yeah.
So basically what I'm assuming is going to happen is Tarzan is going to form, a splinter group.
Yes.
Which, not really certain how he's going to form a group yet.
He's probably going to steal some of the elixir.
Maybe. But then he only has a limited supply because he's too dumb to make more. Or figure out how to make more. Despite probably watching Einstein make it, he is, clearly not portrayed as a very smart character. So if he suddenly is I know how to do this because I watched it one time, gonna throw the bullshit flag.
I don't know if we... Because, he for sure... I don't think we've seen him be dumb. We just haven't seen him be smart.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, when they were talking about, their division of tasks, he was I'll do hunting, because that's what I'm here for. He wasn't I'll do hunting, also I'll help with the science. He was pretty set on, I'm just here to hunt things.
No,
I want to live in the wilderness without any science.
Okay. Because for sure we know 8-Man's a fucking idiot, and he's completely useless when it comes to things that aren't physical labor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about Tarzan Man yet. he might, at least be like vigilant enough to understand like how to make it, or get Dr. Stone to like teach him how,
Yeah,
or trick him how to teach him how.
but he's gonna form his splinter group
Yes, definitely.
of only teenagers, and Einstein is gonna form his group of
Once again,
also
only
only teen, but only on accident.
No,
Uh,
big quotes accident.
Big quotes accident. And I'm assuming somewhere along the way we're gonna collect more like the smart people that we see in the opening to sort of replace Ape Man as Science Gopher.
Possibly, yeah, maybe.
Because I'm assuming that Ape Man will become more of like the soldier type, whereas some of the sciencey looking people from the opening kind of become more of the helpers.
Hmm. I don't know if it's gonna be like standard like fist to fist fighting, though, because
I
in the
kind of
opening,
think it's going to be with Tarzan. I feel like it has to be.
possibly, because like in the opening we see people using guns, or not guns, but like makeshift like gunpowder and
Yeah.
hollowed out
Well,
things.
funny you should say that. Do
Calcium
you
carbonate,
know what the
yeah.
fourth? Yeah,
Calcium
calcium
carbonate,
carbonate's fourth use is in smokeless gunpowder.
Hmm.
So that's very obviously also the reason why he doesn't tell them what the fourth thing is because it's smokeless gunpowder is what he wants to make, but doesn't want to give it away yet.
Literally giving a child a nuke.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, so we'll see if they make actual guns because gunpowder without actually, something to be used as an explosive is kind of useless. But they can just turn it into, some sort of cannon or something.
Yeah, I think they're gonna use cannons because that's what I saw in the opening. Is some
Oh,
old
okay.
guy has like a cannon type thing.
Okay.
Hmm.
But we also saw fucking Einstein making like a crossbow at some point in
Yeah.
this episode.
Because
So we'll see what exactly it turns out being, but they are preparing for sort of old school, combat.
one thing I do kind of want them to do is like look for maybe like books, like old libraries, or even like old civilization, and use like try to recover some tech. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like what little is
It
left.
would be, and at the same time, we're like 3,000 plus years removed from that.
I want them to get plastic.
Maybe we might get plastic. Plastic's one of the few things that I could believe would still,
Right? Yeah.
exist in some form. But I think most things 3,000 years on would have degraded to a point where they'd basically be useless.
Yeah.
Like metal would have been eaten away. Any paper product would be destroyed. Like most things would be gone. Plastics, styrofoams would be some of the few things I would expect that might still be around.
Here's a hot take. You know about the quartz hard drive that like they've been trying to create?
Yeah, kinda.
So it's essentially like has no degradation over time. I
Okay.
want them to find a quartz hard drive and then create a computer to read that quartz hard drive at some point. I believe, Nick.
All it has on it is Spider-Man memes.
There we go. That's perfect. It's because that quartz hard drive is like 100 petabytes. I want them to find 100 petabytes of Spider-Man
God.
memes.
It's just all Spider-Man meme and porn, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, we're gonna keep this forever."
Perfect. They create the Spider-Man religion.
So the real question, going back to actual Doctor Stone now, how long until they do res the girl?
I think next episode.
Do
Because
you think she's gonna be fourth?
yeah, because judging from endings and openings, because they're the arbiter of truth.
Right.
In the ending, we do see the girl like not stoned, and she has like a little thing around her neck.
Uh-huh.
And from what I saw, a bunch of the people who are like running around doing stuff in the opening has a little like handkerchief, like a neckerchief.
Okay.
So I think she's gonna be fourth. I think it's gonna happen.
Does she have the, I woke up from the stone bonus tattoos?
I don't know. I don't recognize. I don't remember seeing it.
Okay.
I just know this because she has like she's not wearing like the school uniform. She kind of has like her shoulders showing, which I think
Oh,
she's gonna
okay.
have like a makeshift dress skirt type of thing,
Okay.
like a shoulders, not shoulder, armless. It's called armless, right? Yeah, an armless dress type of thing.
Okay. Because that is the one thing I've noticed now with everybody who's woken up is they've all gotten
Everyone has a crack.
weird jagged lines.
It's a crack.
The stone. Yeah. Which doesn't seem to have anything to do with how they wake up. Like there wasn't a pattern that went with the cracks that formed on Tarzan's, stone thing. Like it didn't crack down the center of his eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
So we'll see.
I know it's supposed to represent a crack. That's what at least what I think.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly has to do something with the
The stone thing, yeah.
the stone thing.
Oh, all right, but I'm not sure like what exactly it means. Maybe that's where they get like their fantasy powers later on, if it even happens. Which I really actually at this point I hope it doesn't.
Yeah,
I do
I
hope
don't
like
want them to get fantasy powers.
I want it to be like fucking Age of Empire, like shitty Age of Empires mod type of fighting.
I agree.
You know what? I should work on that next. I'm gonna create a Doctor Stone Age of Empires mod.
Yeah, that'll go over great.
I'm not gonna start it at all.
Good. I do also like, we didn't mention this, but in the first episode when they were making the wine, as you know, Japan has their super strict laws on underage drinking in visual media.
Yeah.
They had the fucking, reasons why our characters are allowed to drink. The logic was, we've been asleep for 3,700 years, so we're actually old as fuck and this is legal. I love the logic there. It is phenomenal, in my opinion.
I really hope they don't do that same logic for something weird.
I hope they don't bring it back for something weird. Like, I'm fine for it for this. If they bring it back for something else, I will be kind of upset.
Yes. I will be upset too.
This was just funny because it
Yeah.
has to do with Japan's stupid, fucking, censorship laws.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, the author, the mangaka, is Korean.
Really?
Well, yes, he's Korean, but like I think he lives in Japan and is also like part Japanese, maybe.
Okay.
But at some point, I was reading this on Reddit. Someone like I think the mangaka like found the Reddit tier list, not tier list, but the popularity list that one guy you Redis does.
Uh-huh.
And the mangaka found it, and like he was happy that Reddit really liked Dr. Stone because it was a #1 last week.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this other forum which saw the what we tweeted out, and like they're very mad because he's Korean and not Japanese, and they're being kind of racist.
he was mad at them? Or
No, like the fans were mad
the fans were mad at Reddit?
at the mangaka just because their fans are just mad in general that Dr. Stone's popular.
Wait, which fans are these?
I'm
confused
sorry.
right now.
I shouldn't say fans. Anime or manga anime people from Japan, some from Japan are
Okay.
upset that Dr. Stone is popular because it's written by Korean manga.
Because, right, the mangaka is part Korean
Yes.
and not full-blood Japanese.
Yes, or he's just
And they
Korean,
have
I don't know.
weird opinions about that.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. Dr.
I
Stone.
now understand. I was somewhat confused as to who was the group who was mad and
Yes,
who
yes,
they
yes.
were mad about. Now I got it.
I didn't explain
this is
it
a
very well.
story that Japanese fans slightly racist.
People, fucking asshats, who know?
Got it. Yeah, there's a lot of. That's a pretty worldwide thing. I would say it's a pretty Japanese thing, and then our wonderful president opened his fat mouth today and said all sorts of great,
Yesterday.
wonderfully racist things. Yesterday. I'm sorry.
Actually,
I forgot what
today
day it
he
was.
said something else. That was really
Yeah,
funny.
he said some other super racist shit today.
Um,
Oh god, but this isn't a political podcast. We won't get into that.
Fun fact, me and Nick are liberals. Or kind of, I guess.
if you didn't figure it out when we told you we were 20 something, yeah,
20
believe it
something,
or not,
Northern Virginia.
yeah, we're also liberal yuppies.
We go to DC for fun. And so that's Dr. Stone.
Only one of us is white. Yeah,
Well, even then, if it's the three of us, only one of us still white. You're the well,
yeah.
no, 'cause
Only one of us is still white.
there's no majority or minority because
It's
we're all
true.
different. Until we get Jeffrey back.
I don't have token friends. I'm almost the token white friend.
Not even. We have Jeffrey. If anything,
Yeah,
me and
but you
Alex.
also have Jorge.
Yeah, that's true. So then that makes Alex the token.
That does make Alex the token.
Well, anyways, yes, that's Dr. Stone. And
I will be honest.
yes,
The one thing about Dr. Stone so far and Tarzan, which I think makes him a good character, I'm going to be kind of sad when he becomes a villain.
yeah, I didn't like them
his
working
whole
together.
philosophy is kind of weird. His whole I don't want to raise adults because they're all messed up. Like that was sort of out there, out of left field. I wasn't expecting that, but he was kind of a cool dude when he was doing the man handshake with Ape Man and fucking hunting some pigs with his bare feet. Like he was kind of a badass, and I liked him, and he was a cool guy right
Yeah.
up until he came out with his weird philosophy. So I'm kind of sad that he's going to become a villain.
So I don't think he's gonna focus on the young thing. I think he's specifically going to focus on the fact that it's going to be like a class thing between like the rich and the poor. At least that's what I want it to be instead.
Okay.
Because he did mention that. He did talk about like how he doesn't want to like revive rich people because they're all
Right, and
greedy
pay
fucks.
taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all greedy fucks and they're gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So
So you could be right.
yes,
I would believe that.
I definitely hope that that's what they focus on more because that's a lot where more like philosophy can come in between him and Dr. Stone. Between like, hey, we shouldn't we should try to figure out who these bad people are and not revive them. And Dr. Stone says we're not allowed. We shouldn't be allowed to do that. We should just revive everyone and then go from there. So that's what I really hope this kind of like becomes like a battle between those two because we could explore a lot of cool themes in that way.
And like I feel like for how much I made fun of Tarzan and said like he's not that smart, he isn't presented as like a dumb guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like I said, his philosophy is out of left field, but he has like a manifesto in terms of like what he believes and why he
Communist
believes
manifesto,
it.
if you might say.
Yeah, he's a little bit like the Unabomber, but whatever. So I kind of like him as like a character, and he'll make a good villain. I hope.
I hope so too, definitely. But now let's move on to our lighter of our shows. Yeah, I'd say a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Lighter in the first half. Fire Force.
Which has awoken something in me.
It just did that. Fire Witch, I knew from the fucking from the beginning, Fire Witch was gonna be awesome. I fucking love her.
She was legit last episode, but this episode she was just fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And awesome at the same time.
She's my favorite character. To the surprise of no one.
Yeah. She kicked ass and took names and also made some solid fucking jokes.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
But so the episode begins with meeting yet another rookie.
Another rookie who is a bit of a fuck, in my opinion.
Kind
A
of.
little bit from the get-go. Like, he's not a bad person. He's just a little bit of a fuck type of character.
I mean, yes, but also, we do have our original rookie who is kind of just as much of like a, fucking noob.
Oh, I don't mean noob. When I say fuck, I just mean kind of like he is very confident, but not in the right way, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yes, but also in their like mock combat, we did have fucking our main character basically int himself into Fire Witch and then promptly right off the building.
That was funny though.
It was funny, but it is also an example of between our two new guys, they're both pretty much the FNG.
Well, the only reason the other new guy doesn't like get fucked over by the fire canceling is because he just has a weapon that doesn't get canceled by that.
Yeah, but instead he just gets regular fist fucked.
Yes. Like, she just gets beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
But right from the get-go, we have a rivalry between our old newbie and the new newbie. And they just don't like each other because they're part of the Academy before. New newbie likes to call himself the Night King because he, once again, is a bit of a fuck.
He's, kind of a chuny.
Yep. He wields Excalibur for fuck's sake, which I'm pretty sure at some point someone's going to say, that's just a regular sword. Everyone has those. Or everyone can have those if they're like a third generation whatever.
Maybe. It does seem like the third generation thing is also like kind of specific.
Yeah.
Because you have main character with feet fire and now new guy with whatever sword plasma or whatever they called it. So we'll see, if everybody can wield stuff like that. Because we're going to get the rookie games. And I'm assuming that in the way that generations work, in the real world, the rookie games is going to be filled with third generations.
Probably.
So we'll see what's up when we get to the rookie games in terms of like how other people can control fire. But yeah, this guy fucking rolls up with his lightsaber basically,
No.
and immediately wants to throw down with our new guy.
Yep. And so they take it outside on the roof, where Fire Witch, God bless her, is just having fun making a little fire puru thing.
Yeah.
I forgot what she calls it, but it's some stupid fucking name. And she kind of just plays with
Sputter.
Sputter? Sputter, that's what it was. Sputter. She has a dumb one-liner about that later.
The small one is called Sputter.
So she has Sputter, and she's playing with that, and then hanging out with the sister. and then up come the other guys and talking shit to each other and blah blah blah. And then we've got Guy who has a stick up his ass come up and he's like, all right, settle the fuck down. You two are gonna fight that one girl, and that one girl's gonna beat your ass. And they're like, no, she's not. And then she proceeds to beat their ass in magnificent style. She cancels out our main character's feet fire because she can do that, and just sends him tumbling down the building. And then she once again just fist fucks the other newbie, Night King.
And then, of course, after she just beats the crap out of him, hand-to-hand styles, we find out that she apparently has a problem with the fact that she's jacked as fuck.
Which I don't.
He comes up and he says that he makes some remark about, like, why are you so strong? To which she immediately misinterprets what he says, and she gets offended that he called her a gorilla.
Yep, a Cyclops gorilla, to be precise.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Cyclops gorilla.
I'm not sure where the Cyclops comes from.
Neither did I.
Right?
I understood the gorilla part because he mentioned like that she was strong as fuck.
Well,
the gorilla thing was out of left field. He didn't say gorilla.
Yeah, he didn't say gorilla, but she just got get the gorilla features when she like goes in for a punch for a little couple of frames.
Yeah. Well, she full on develops the gorilla features when our main character shows back up and makes a comment about like, why do you look like an ogre? And she again repeats her, did you just call me a gorilla? And then she looks like a full on fucking ape.
Yep.
And then hammer times both of them into the ground.
And then creates Bobo.
Oh my god. I was kind of salty that it wasn't called Don Patch instead.
I don't know if he could have gotten away with that. But yeah, she makes Bobo a super putter. A sputter.
Yeah, a super sputter.
And that's when the two guys just say, okay, I quit. I'm done.
Yeah. They're like, we cannot win this. And then our lieutenant promptly whips out a fire extinguisher and extinguishes Bobo.
Yep.
And
she also has a one-liner about sputter. I forgot what it was, but it's super dumb.
She has a lot of dumb moments. I mean, when the Night King first shows up, he's like, I am Night King. I think his name is Arthur, too, right?
Oh my god, I think you're right.
But he shows up and he's like, I'm Night King Arthur. We see her sitting there and she's like, oh my god, so romantic. But, like, you also know that she doesn't actually care about him. Like, she just, as was established in the first episode, is, like, kind of stupid about these kind of things.
She likes the, she has a very romanticized vision of it all.
Yeah. She doesn't care about him herself, but she thinks that it's, like,
she
adorable.
Likes the story.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to read it's like somebody else's romance story involving Night King Arthur.
Hey.
She doesn't want to have her, Night King Arthur story.
That's a plot of Bloom Into You.
Is it really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I won't talk about Bloom Into You just yet. I'll plate that shot some other time. But yeah, that's basically the first half of this episode. We also have the lieutenant basically telling blonde-haired kid Arthur to apologize to his superior, the fucking what's her face? I don't remember her name. I just saw a Fire Witch. To apologize to Fire Witch because she's a superior and he like said some stupid shit, and so he does that. And basically we get told about the rookie games after that by our captain. And how he's going to be going with Arthur.
Mm-hmm. And they also kind of have a moment where they talk about, the fact that obviously Fire Witch got mad when she got called, jacked as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the lieutenant gets mad all the time.
And
they're talking about, like, what makes the captain mad? And the captain's like, I'm chill all the time, dudes.
Hey, is that a flag? We don't know. It's so okay. And we also get the introduction of the axe with the gun inside of it.
Yes. The Type 7.
Yep. Which is used in close quarters combat. Because apparently our main character's guy, his like feet power is in close quarters.
I guess.
Right? I feel like it's not really long range because he's not like shooting shit. He's like...
Yeah.
He's in there.
Yeah, he's pretty in there. I mean, it's like... If I remember correctly from the first episode, he kind of used it like a close-range shotgun blast more.
Yeah.
Like, he put his foot up right against its chest and then blew a hole through his chest. Yeah, like, he didn't stick his foot through the thing's chest, but it wasn't long-range either.
Mm-hmm. I guess what he means is that like this is when they can't really use fire in the situation, which is what happens in the latter half of this episode, is where they can't really use fire because there's no real fire. There's just the fire demon.
Right.
And so,
But yeah, speaking of that, Fire Witch rolls up and says, "We got a fire demon. Let's go."
let's fucking go. God, I love Fire Witch so much.
So they all pile into the van and head off.
Wee-woo.
And we have Captain tell the two new guys, "Take your weapons, put them in your coats. Don't let anybody see them."
As if that's
Till we get in
something
the house.
important.
Right.
And
I mean,
guess,
to be fair,
sorry, go ahead.
anything the captain says is important because he's their captain.
Well, here's the thing.
But of course, our new guys
don't fucking listen.
because they're both fucking jags.
Yep, the moment the captain's like, alright, let's go in, they immediately do the one thing they were told not to, and
Yep.
it's take out their fucking weapons. To which Captain has a very great, like, moment where he's just like, you two, come with me. And they, like, head off to the corner, and he just basically, like, tells them off.
Yeah.
And, like, a very, he doesn't yell, he's, like, very calm about it. Like, he legitimately wants him to, like, understand what they did wrong. Which is a very great way to do it. Like, I really like the captain. Yeah. The captain's fucking awesome.
I mean, that's like the right manager way of doing it, where it's like, all right, you did something wrong. We're gonna go over here away from everybody else, and we'll talk about what you did wrong. This is where you fucked up. This is how you don't fuck up again. This is why the rule is the way it is. Don't fuck up again. And like, okay, now your person understands what they did wrong and why we do things the right way.
Yeah, I just love the captain so much.
So I mean, he's a solid captain overall.
He's gonna die.
He's absolutely gonna die.
He's gonna die.
And I'm gonna be so sad when he's dead. But he's a great fucking captain right now.
Oh yeah, that's why Lieutenant's such a fucking stick up. He's gonna become the captain. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to like learn how to not be such a fucking ass. Well.
And Maki's gonna become, or Fire Witch is gonna become fucking lieutenant probably.
Oh thank God.
What was that?
And so we go into the house where we see the dad, who is a fire demon, and he's just sitting at the table, and he's basically like just sitting there. He's very calm. He isn't like the last demon we saw, who's basically just going off and like just pitching a fit.
Right.
He's just there.
He's just sitting at the table.
And this is what they call like one of those quiet ones. Those quiet combustions.
Mm-hmm. Because apparently, like, you can fight it, kind of.
Well, yeah, like, he's repressing something, and they understand that, like, he's, like, trying his hardest to, like, just not hurt anyone else. So they try to get this over with very quickly. But real quick, I actually didn't miss an important part, and that's, we get the bandages guy. He's got, in the moment where, right after the captain tells off the two newbies, we get a cut back to this other guy, who I presume is, some sort of villain. Mm-hmm. And he's got the little powder bottle, which I'm pretty sure like ashes or cinders or stuff.
Oh yeah.
I assume what he like throws them out, and then like this kind of smiley face with the fire appears over them, and they're like, "Yo, that's fucking odd." So they think that's odd. It goes away. They go inside, and that's where they have their talk again. Mm-hmm. They have like these little introspective moments where they're thinking about the girl who's outside crying because her dad is now dead after this happened to her mother last year, and so Arthur decides that he wants to do this. He wants this to be like his first
elimination.
Not elimination, exorcism. Basically. Purification is what they call it. So he goes in, he takes a sword, and he just kind of does it real quick and stabs him. In a really nice kind of scene where like you don't see his face, you just see like his blue eye. I thought that was really cool.
It was really cool.
So
it was very like also sort of weird because like for a basically mercy killing, he kind of looked like an assassin.
Yeah.
It's like it was a little bit of a weird shot, but it was also a cool shot, so I'll forgive them.
The fire demon goes away. Captain comes in, right after they kill the demon, the house starts to collapse because they hear an explosion, so they start running away.
Yeah. The black powder starts to like rain from the ceiling, and then everything explodes.
But our fucking captain, the badass he is, the house falls on him. He's just like, nah, fuck that. He just basically just shrugs it off, picks up
the picture of the family,
and just walks out. Gives the picture to the young girl.
Yeah.
And then that's around where the episode ends.
Which so for the Fire Force as a whole, it's such a weird premise for a shonen show. And I'm not saying it's a bad premise, but I'm just saying it's a weird premise. because in most shonen shows, your bad guys are like usually unequivocally bad, or they're like fucking what's it call it, Demon Slayer or Demon Hunter, whatever it's called. Where like they're bad guys that have sad-ish backstories, but they're pretty unequivocally bad. The demons eat people; they're bad guys.
Yeah.
This is like one of the few shonen shows that I've seen where it's like the bad guys are actually just regular dudes who are getting corrupted by some mysterious force that we don't know about.
Well, they're not the villain. Right now. They're just like things they like fight with.
Yeah, like they're not villains, but they're
Yeah.
also not good. Like we still kill them.
Yes.
It's like it's a very weird tone of like, on the one hand, it's shonen, and so you have like these cool action sequences in the first episode, and like you want to see the badass fighting, and at the same time, like you think too hard about it, and you have what happened at the end of this episode where Captain is giving the picture of the family to the orphaned girl, and he's like, your parents tried real hard.
Well, to your point about Demon Slayer before, like, because you remember you were talking about it, like they just become crazy. Like they have no control over themselves at that point, or they have minimal control. Whereas the Demon Slayer have full control. So like they're just kind of bad. And this one, they've just like can't really. They just explode essentially.
Yeah.
So
and I'm like, I'm not saying like there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like explain it some more because like even within the show, they're not treated like they're bad things. It's more like it's more of a sad occasion. It's for them in this world. It is a tragic event.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see soon, I think, like the guy we just saw in this episode, he's going to be like a villain who like is inducing these sort of issues. He's probably experimenting with people and trying to like turn them into fire demons to like make the perfect generation person. I don't know.
Right.
Some other bullshit.
And like we're probably going to move on out of like random dudes, like, oh, it's this family man, or it's this person's wife. We're probably going to move on from that to be like, oh, it's this criminal, or it's this, some like enter some other reason why it's not really like you don't feel as bad about it anymore.
Well, it's probably not going to be like a fire demon. It's going to be a criminal who just has similar power as our main character, who's like an X generation pyromancer.
It's going to become My Hero Academia, the League of Villains of third generation fire users.
Basically.
But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Because this episode had a real dark ending with the girl crying about like, I'm going to be next. Like, my family's cursed. I'm going to turn into a fire demon. Like, and they don't know why it happened, so you don't have any reason to say like, oh no, it's definitely not going to be you. Like, it could full on be that girl next. It's like it's just a really dark tone for an ending for a shonen show.
Well, even then, like think of Naruto. Like Naruto had some pretty dark moments as well.
Like, it's true. It did have some dark moments.
All of Naruto's backstory is like just sad.
Yeah, but it also is tempered with all of the like
all the fucking comedy that happens. Which
all the comedy that happens, and stuff like fucking the Zabuza arc, where it was like
Zabuza.
Yeah, Zabuza and Haku's life were like fucked up. But they were also like kind of unequivocally bad people. Like Zabuza
was. I don't think Haku did anything bad.
Haku didn't do anything bad. Haku just followed a murderer and was indebted to him and didn't understand morality really.
I think he knew he was bad. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've
all I really remember was Haku was like, I have to follow Zabuza because he saved me and therefore he owns me.
Okay, I remember that.
He never really had like a conflict with what they did. Like he understood what they were doing. He didn't have a conflict with it, which was sort of where it fell into the category of like, yeah, it was sad that he died at the end, but at the same time, you're kind of like, you were still kind of a bad dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you helped Zabuza like assassinate merchants and shit. Like they weren't exactly people who could fight back.
They also fought the gang too.
They did.
Yeah. But this episode ends, with the crying little girl. Well, not a little girl, but the crying middle schooler. Mm-hmm. And then we get...
Well, we get a scene of the two of them in their bunks, like, basically just yelling at each other.
They're not yelling at each other. They're like working off each other, they're just...
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it.
We're establishing that regardless whether they like, even though they don't really like each other, it's a shonen show, we can't really have our two newbies hate each other.
Right.
that much. It's more of like a rivalry among them.
Yeah.
Um,
So they have like a little back and forth of like,
yeah.
are you asleep? I'm not asleep. Be asleep. Shut up. And then they make like
The
I'm a knight. You mean king? King knight.
yeah.
Which they made that joke a couple times where even Arthur forgets what his title is.
They do it twice in that fucking scene too.
Yeah, they do it twice in that scene. They do it like once or twice when they were on the
Throughout.
roof earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Where because he recently added the king to his title, because originally he was just knight, he still sometimes just refers to himself as a knight, and the main character corrects him with king, and then he retorts with king knight.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We have a knight. Or wait, does the lieutenant say king or knight? I think he calls him a knight. And then we have a devil, and that's where we get Fire Witch from. We've got the witch, and we've got the priestess. I guess what would the other two be? Lieutenant and captain. Captain's a fucking castle. 100%.
Lieutenant is like the gunslinger.
I guess so, because he has a gun. We haven't even seen him hit anything with a gun, Nick.
I mean, I don't even know. Did they mention what his firepower was?
I don't know, because I don't think they categorize what the firepower is. They just say you're an X generation pyrokinetic. And it just manifests in different ways, but they don't say how it manifests.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that he is a pyrokinetic, but we don't know anything about
How
what
he
exactly
controls it.
he controlled.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. But this also establishes something else that's going to, I think, kind of come into play later, is that second generations have to start a fire and then they can manipulate the fire. They can't just create fire,
Right.
unlike our other two, who can just start a sword with fire and then just have fire come out of their feet.
Yeah.
But that's the end of the episode. Fire Witch is fucking awesome. And then next episode, we're getting the tournament arc almost immediately in the
Almost
Shonen show.
immediately.
Which it's not going to end. There's not going to be any of this tournament arc because the villain's going to attack.
The villain's going to attack, absolutely. It's going to be like Naruto, wherein he literally breaks in the first round of the tournament.
So I think the next episode we're going to meet the Firefox lady. Oh my god, she's a Firefox.
Yeah. So we're going to have Firefox as, I'm assuming, one of the other
rookies who's going to join later.
Well, well, she's going to be one of the rookies because she's going to be at the rookie tournament, but I'm assuming she's going to be from one of the other departments.
Yeah, but she's going to join this department.
Maybe.
She's in the opening, Nick. She's going to be part of the team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but how do they argue, if she's already at another department, we don't have a good, example in a shonen show of, why do people transfer? So, we'll see. Maybe she shows up here, but,
It could just be that she says, I want to move, and you're like, okay.
Maybe. I mean, maybe we'll see how they get along during the tournament arc. Maybe she, decides oh, this other place is going to be so much better for me, or maybe that isn't a thing, and she doesn't transfer, and we're wrong, and the opening is lying to us.
100% she's a tsundere.
100% she's a tsundere.
Yep, calling it now.
Do you have any rationale for that one?
Nope.
Okay.
What? She has fire.
Okay. So does Fire Witch, by the way.
Shh.
Okay.
And she's got twin tails, I think.
She definitely has twin tails.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay. We'll see if you're right about that one.
Also, she I'm pretty sure she is a fire fox, and then I don't know. I'm probably stretching, but I think she's a tsundere. But we'll see if I'm right next episode. Maybe next episode.
Probably next episode.
Yeah. Boop. And so, Nick, what would you like to sell it to today?
What would I like to sell it to today? The worst part is I thought about what I wanted to sell out to a couple hours ago, and I was like, I'm definitely going to sell it to this thing.
I do that
now
all
as
the
we
time.
come to it,
Yeah.
I know. I should have written it down, but when we came to it, but I was like, there's no way I'll forget this thing. I forgot the thing.
Would you like a minute to think about it?
Yeah, give me a minute.
All right. Well, I would like to sell it to Samsung because I bought appliances from them. They showed up today and it's working, so at least it didn't show up broken. So thanks, Samsung, for having the bare minimumist customer or quality assurance of having your things work when they get it to my house.
What a low bar to earn your sellout.
Also, give me a new dishwasher.
I paid them money for products, and they satisfied my money request order. with products that worked. Here's to you, Samsung.
Here's to you.
Champions of doing absolutely the minimum amount to earn my money.
They also own like basically 60% of Korea.
They do own like 60% of Korea. The South Korea, not the North Korea.
South Korea. Probably part of North Korea too, but they just don't know it yet.
They just don't know it yet.
I'm saying North Koreans don't know it.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. I thought you were implying like part of North Korea is like we belong to Samsung, but like since nobody knows what goes on in North Korea, Samsung doesn't know that they also get that part.
Yeah.
I like the mentality of it. Like one corner of North Korea is like the Republic of Samsung.
Yep.
Why
do you think all this stuff's so cheap?
Fair. God fuck damn. I can't remember it anymore. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go with the fallback one that I thought of as I was trying to think of the original one. And I'm gonna sell out to Shrimp Chips for simultaneously being addictive as fuck and also turning my basketball team into a bunch of weebs.
Hachi!
Yeah. Our new the story here is, as Northern Virginia residents, my local basketball team.
We have to chill out to our local teams, yes.
Yeah, we have to chill out to our local teams. So of course I have to chill out to the Washington Wizards, who recently drafted the first Japanese player in Rui Hachimura, who immediately apparently turned our, other rookies and second-year players into shrimp chip eating fiends. So he's slowly indoctrinating them into the Japanese culture. So here's to you, Shrimp Chips, for turning my basketball team into a bunch of weeb lords. It was bound to happen eventually, realistically, because Shrimp Chips are good as fuck.
Shrimp Chips are amazing.
So, not super surprised. But here's to you, Shrimp Chips. Shout out to being awesome.
Yep. And so?
Thus ends yet another episode of ABC.
Yep. Have a good night, day, commute, whatever.
Whatever. ABC